Transnational Islamist extremists such as ISIS and Al-Qaeda and affiliated jihadi groups continue to pursue, enable, or inspire attacks against the United States and our citizens abroad and within the homeland to advance their ultimate objective of establishing a global Islamist caliphate. This includes heightened efforts to spread their ideology to recruit and radicalize individuals in the U.S. and the West. While the New Year's Day attacker in New Orleans had no known direct contact with ISIS terrorists, he was influenced and radicalized by ISIS ideological propaganda, as one example. Al-Qaeda and its affiliates continue to call for attacks against the United States as they conduct attacks overseas. These jihadist groups have shown their ability to adapt and evolve, including using new technologies and tactics to spread their ideology and recruit new followers. A range of non-state cyber criminals are also targeting our economic interests, critical infrastructure, and advanced commercial capability for extortion, other coercive pursuits, and financial gain. These actors use a variety of tactics, including phishing, ransomware, and denial of service attacks, to disrupt our systems and steal sensitive and lucrative information using available technologies and U.S. cyber vulnerabilities. Ransomware actors last year, for example, attacked the largest payment processor for U.S. healthcare institutions. And another set of criminal actors conducted cyber attacks against U.S. water utilities. Some of these non-state cyber actors also operate as proxies for or emulate similar activities carried out by major state actors. While these non-state cyber actors often seek financial and intellectual property gains, they also carry out cyber operations for espionage purposes, targeting our critical infrastructure. Turning to key state actors, the IC sees China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea engaging in activities that could challenge U.S. capabilities and interests, especially related to our security and economy. These actors are in some cases working together in different areas to target U.S. interests and to protect themselves from U.S. sanctions. At this point, the IC assesses that China is our most capable strategic competitor. Under the leadership of President Xi Jinping, the People's Republic of China seeks to position itself as a leading power on the world stage, economically, technologically, and militarily. Beijing is driven in part by a belief that Washington is pursuing a broad effort to contain China's rise and undermine CCP rule. China's most serious domestic challenge is probably China's slowing economy and potential instability if socioeconomic grievances lead to large-scale unrest. Growing economic tensions with the United States and other countries could also weigh on China's plans for economic growth and domestic job creation. China's military is fielding advanced capabilities, including hypersonic weapons, stealth aircraft, advanced submarines, stronger space and cyber warfare assets, and a larger arsenal of nuclear weapons. While it would like to develop and maintain positive ties with the United States and the Trump administration to advance its interests and avoid conflict, China is building its military capability in part to gain advantage in the event of a military conflict with the United States around the issue of China's efforts toward unification with the Republic of China, or Taiwan. China's military is also expanding its presence in the Asia-Pacific region with a focus on disputed territorial claims in both the East China and South China Seas. Beijing is advancing its cyber capabilities for sophisticated operations aimed at stealing sensitive U.S. government and private sector information and pre-positioning additional asymmetric attack options that may be deployed in a conflict. China's cyber activities have been linked to multiple high-profile breaches, including last year's massive compromise of U.S. telecom infrastructure, commonly referred to as Salt Typhoon. Beijing currently dominates global markets and strategically important supply chains, for example, with the mining and processing.
All right, so that is in Washington, D.C., where the Senate hearing of the U.S. intelligence chiefs, the U.S. Director of National Intelligence, along with heads of CIA, FBI, NSA, are currently testifying on intelligence on worldwide threats. The session comes just a day after news of a major security lapse made headlines and is still making waves. That is Tulsi Gabbard. Let's just understand what this testimony is all about. And joining us now on this broadcast is our correspondent from the United States, Susan Teherani, is live in New York. Susan, good to see you. What is Tulsi Gabbard testifying on, and what's the significance of this hearing?
A very significant hearing, really annually, that happens from the top brass of the intelligence community here in the United States. We're expected to hear threats from Russia. Tulsi Gabbard is talking about threats from China right now. She started just to outline what the greatest threat and perhaps the biggest issue on this intelligence community's mind is about the border, about the fentanyl crisis here in the United States, the drugs that are coming across the border as well. And then she went on, to talk about other threats as well. Worldwide threats of ISIS, trying to create a caliphate around the world. We just had a recent bombing in New Orleans on the first day of the year. She addressed that. But of course, as you mentioned, it just comes one day after that possible security breach from top brass in the Trump administration. There's no doubt that these individuals are going to be grilled on that as well as we watch.
All right, we'll have to wait and see how this pans out. Susan Tehrani, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you for talking to us, and it's good to see you.
Thanks, Eric.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.